Welcome everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel Chronicles of a Midwife. This is part 2 of my journey to getting my diagnosis. I know it's quite long, part 1 was quite long, but it's just such a story of how we as individuals, we as nurses especially, they say nurses, doctors make the worst patients. It is true. I'm sorry, it's true, because with everything that was happening, I was thinking something else. I was disregarding my symptoms, and how I got to find out that it was MS. I After that appointment at KPH, multiple appointments at KPH, and they finally wrote that referral to see a neurologist. I went to KPH neurology clinic, and they have no consultant neurologist. Why KPH? Why? The neurologist there, Dr. Ali, he's old, he is tired, he wants to retire, and they're still not finding a neurologist. So I had to go privately. I went to Andrews first, and of course Dr. Ali, Dr. Amza Ali, he is the doctor, the neurologist there, and he wasn't accepting any new patients. So frustrating. So I looked around, some are 20,000, some are for the first visit, and then the rest are like 22. Oh my goodness, it's so much money, but we have to pay for our health, eh? So went around, I photocopied the referral so that I could have multiple, I could go to multiple places and show them, and then book my appointment if I could. Went to UA, which was a disaster when I finally got the appointment. Imagine going to UA as a nurse, getting an appointment on January, was it end of December or January? For August, I got that appointment. So I had to wait 8 months for my appointment in August at UA, and it was a disaster. The doctor that is there is so rude, so disrespectful, doesn't listen to his clients, so dismissive. Oh my goodness. Sometimes you are there as a nurse and you can't say anything, but sometimes we need to stand up for ourselves. And you see, because of how he approached me and approached my situation, he totally disregarded me. And if he had just done the proper thing, if he had asked me what was actually going on with me currently, he would have known that something was definitely wrong with me, because I was having a relapse at the time, and it was bad. I could not walk properly, and he didn't even give me a chance. And with the whole COVID thing, he didn't even want to touch me. So can you imagine my frustration, my distress? I just left it alone. I said, you know what, Lord, if I must go back there, because eventually I really have to see a neurologist. I would not, if he is the one that I'm going to, I will request not to go to that particular doctor, because he's so nasty. He needs to, let me not say, because they say that to nurses and everybody else, when things happen, and sometimes, most times it's untrue, but yeah, people overinflate things. But that doctor was a piece of work. But I'm digressing from my situation. So I went to UA, got that appointment, and I went back to oh my gosh, this fog thing. I went back to Andrews Memorial Hospital, and because I was begging. My mother is a good pleader and beggar, because some appointments are so long and she got them in no time for me. Mommy, I love you. But I went there, and they recommended me to Meridian Medical Specialist. It's a stone throw away from the hospital. So I went there, met the doctor. I was referred to her as a neurologist. I thought she was a neurologist, but finding out post, or yes, it would be post post MS, or even when I did the lumbar puncture, that she was an internist, because I was introduced to her as a neurologist. She was my neurologist, but she had a lot of background in the field of neurology, because she worked with Dr. Amza Ali, and she worked at his office as well. She worked at KPH Neurology, and she worked at um, his office at Andrew. So that's why they just referred me to her. I'm still needing a neurologist, yes, but I am quite content. Sometimes not, but I am quite content with her at the moment. I still know that I need to just go to a neurologist. But got the appointment, saw her, and of course, as I said, it's a process and I'm not bashing anybody, but she basically told me with my MRI and my symptoms that I was having a migraine at the time, and migraines can present as that. Listen, people, I am a great person to advocate. I always say advocate for yourself, because if nobody else will take your health seriously, you need to take your health in your own hands. Please, please, I always tell my patients, advocate for yourself. You know what is best for you. We can't force you to do what you're supposed to do. The only thing that we will do is write your referral or write your a request to do something. If you don't do it, we can't do anything for you. So when she told me that it was a migraine, I was like, what? I've had migraines for a long time. From I was in high school, I had a migraine. So that would have been maybe like almost, what, 10 years plus? 10 plus. All right, sorry about that. That was my mom on the phone. My father had a stroke, so we have to get things together. It was quite sudden, so he's at the hospital right now, and I'm here at work, kind of fretting. My head is all over the place. But yeah, so please do what is necessary for your own health, because if I had just stayed there and not pushed and said, I know my body. I always tell people that I know my body. I know when I'm getting sick. I know when I'm sick and can manage. I know when I cannot manage if I'm sick. So that is why I kind of disregarded, because it was something that I'm such a hypocrite. It was bad, but you know, you're trying. I'm always just, even though I'm the sickly one, but I'm always putting on a brave face. I'm always acting stronger. Maybe that's why one of the things I'm so aggressive, because everybody used to kind of baby me, oh, the sick folks. So anyway, so yeah, after that, no, I pushed and said, no, something else is wrong. This is not how I have my migraines. So got the CD. She reviewed the CD and she said, Miss Nugent, oh my goodness, you have a lot of lesions on your brain. You need to repeat this MRI. And can you imagine, I did one in December and I'm to do one almost right away. But at that time, it was quite difficult because the type of MRI she wanted me to do, she wanted me to do the brain MRI and MRA brain, because she was querying if I had bleeding in the brain. So that is one of the things you have to query, bleeding in the brain. So went to Elite Diagnostics. They are, trust me, Elite is elite. They really do their things really nicely and professionally, and yeah man, go to Elite. The other radiology, they're good as well, not to say that they're not good, but Elite is just, you know, kind of you feel so rich and high class and things, and it's not that as expensive as you think. It is not that more expensive than the cheaper ones, so consider them. If it is that you have got your thing publicly, you get a discount, but if it's privately like me, I pay basically full price, you know, without health card. But I have my health card, thankfully. But did my second MRI and MRI brain scan, and of course I did do, when I did the first MRI, I did do MRI spine, total spine, and that was an expensive procedure because I had to know what was going on with my spine as well, because I was flopping around. Did the two, and the spine was normal, just probably some little weight on the spine. There was nothing to be really worried about. The spine was totally normal. I did the cervical, thoracic, the lumbar, and it was fine. No lesions at all. Can you imagine, with all that was going on with my vertigo and my unsteady gait and everything? I was normal there. The brain, however, the OLED, me like call it the OLED, was the one that was giving problems. But she did review the second one, and it did show more lesions, but some regressed while others popped up. So she said that due to the fact that I had more lesions coming up, I definitely needed to do more testing, and more testing means a lumbar puncture and some other blood tests to rule out other conditions, because MS is, the symptoms are so wide and annoying, because it's something that you see and people will see you and think that you could be faking it when you're not. It's just such an annoying odd condition that you have to tell people that, hey, I am so fatigued, hey, I'm dizzy, when you can fake it, and people are like, wonder if she's lying, wonder if she's lying. Yeah, because people do fake things. Hypochondriacs out there, they do fake it. So it's so annoying, because it's not something that you can just look, boom, hey, it's the MS, boom. It's just so annoying and so frustrating. So did all sorts of blood tests to test my potassium, my B12, my folate, and everything, and so expensive, 50,000, 80,000, 100,000. Expensive. And this is why people don't follow up, because they can't afford all these things. I'm fortunate enough that I have such a good family support, and they back me up. They back me up. Me not telling a lie. I have to appreciate my family. Dynamics are sometimes wonky, but really and truly, when it comes to rallying together, family. Miller, Stevenson, Nugent, them depend on top of your health. So did all those tests, they came back normal. Even the one that she said was borderline, the B12, which was basically normal, but it was just, you know, you could say it was abnormal. And she put me on B12, and I was on Neurontin 100. That is what I started on, because the nerve pain was real. People, the nerve pain. I would be walking, and then it's like it starts, you just know when it's coming on, you feel it coming on. It's like a progression in your fingertips. It gets numb, it gets tingly. Even though it's still tingly, but you know, it's something that you can forego. It just comes and goes. But that one, it starts off, and then it just progresses to your chest, and then it locks up. It's like somebody is hugging you tightly. Wham! Your chest lock up. It's like it squeeze your abdomen. You can't eat, you can't talk, you can't move, you can't breathe, you can't move your head. You have to be like that. If you're drinking the water stuck at your throat. It's just like that. The saliva stuck at your throat. You have to be breathing, you have to be, and the tears coming, and the tears coming. And the first time it happened, I thought I was dying. Thank you so much for watching my video part 2. I'm going to have a part 3 because I'm thinking this is long and I don't want to bore you. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Chronicles of a Midwife. Help a girl, the man. Cha! Respect.